Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Central Maryland. So it's another day of me saying farewell to a retiring stamp set. Today's stamp set that we're saying goodbye to is The Beauty of Friendship. And I really like this stamp set because it has some unique images as well as unique sentiments. So let's jump in. I'm going to turn the camera. If you get sick, look away because the camera is moving. And when the camera moves, you see my ceiling, my big light, and then my big head, probably before I can get it turned down to my workspace. So there, we're in the workspace. Shift this a little bit. Okay. So this is one of the catalogs that we're saying goodbye to, farewell. Well, the catalog is retiring, but not everything in the catalog is retiring. And you can shop the last chance list on my website. So the mini catalog is retiring. May 1st is the last day to shop from it. And then we have the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog also retiring May 1st. Not everything in it is retiring. But in this catalog is The Beauty of Friendship and Wildlife Wonder. Beauty of Friendship retiring, Wildlife Wonder staying, yay! So the Beauty of Friendship, like I said, it has various unique trees. So it has a bare bones tree, a leafless tree, but you can then add whether you want a kind of a triangle tree or more rounded top. I guess this would be something like an aspen, and this maybe more like a oak tree. And then it has different leaves. You can have it bare, you can have some leaves, or you can have multi-tone leaves. It's like a two-step stamping without having to stamp this twice. So I like it. And while I was talking about those sentiments, you have an inspiration sentiment, a friendship sentiment, I believe in you sentiment, and then more traditional thank you, thinking of you, hello. So for today's card, I'm going to be using this bare bones tree with my Wildlife Wonder. I was looking, I think this is kind of a masculine set, at least to me. That's the way I see it. And maybe because of the animals, or maybe because it says a great guy, you know, to a great guy. So I tend to use this a lot for masculine birthday cards. Today's card is a thank you, a note of thanks, which is also in the Wildlife Wonder. And then we have this wolf image. So I don't know if it's the colors or because it's the animal, but I see this as a masculine card, but maybe that's just me. So if you're going to order anything, please use the host code in April if your order is $150 or less. My hostess, my Stamp Club hostess this month would appreciate any little contributions. Now, if your order is over $150, don't use the host code so you can enjoy the hostess benefits. My blog, there's a link below, or there will be when I'm done. I'll post a link to my blog post that I have all the measurements and ingredients and everything you need to make this card if you're interested. And while you're there, hey, like and follow my Facebook page and YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, subscribe so you get notified next time I post something, a card. So here is the card kit that we had at my Stamp Club. We have a base of basic gray. We have a layer of smoky slate, a layer of white that's going to go inside, and then I already die cut 2 squares from the Stylish Shapes, and that's what we're going to stamp on. So we're going to stamp on the white, both pieces, the smoky slate, the white, and not the card base. So I'm going to stick that aside, and I like to stamp on my envelope. So let's start with our smoky slate, and I'm going to stamp on the smoky slate, and I'm going to be using this tree image. And it's kind of a tone on tone, so I'm using smoky slate ink. Now there isn't a color refresh coming, but doesn't affect any of the colors on this in this project. So I kind of randomly stamped this tree. I have to make sure that my camera, I've had some problems with it drifting, so I don't want that. So I'm going to do a tree like right here in the middle. I'm going to do a tree of these. Oh, this is a little dark. Wow. I wonder if I re-inked or stamped off. Yeah. Oh well. I think we're going to do this one full force. And I'll put a stamp down here, and then we'll do a tree kind of up towards the top, and one similar, maybe a little bit higher, and then definitely a higher tree on this side. And I just noticed I forgot to get a stamp out of my ink, out of my stamp set. So here I'm going to come back, and this Beauty of Friendship has a little shadow that goes under the tree. I'm going to pull that out and grab that with my block, and I'm going to put a shadow under each of these trees. Voila. And then I'm going to put one on the envelope. And I'll have to check the inside because I can't remember what I did on the inside. Let's put a tree here and give that a shadow. Just kind of grounds it. So what did I do on the inside? Oh, I put a tree on the inside. So let's do that. Shift everything and bring up this. And then ink this up. And this tree is kind of a lower tree. So there we go. And the next thing we're still using Smoky Slate. This stamp set has leaves. Now this one is more dappled, but this one is 2 steps. So when we stamp it, we get 2 variations of the same color without having to re-ink. So if I ink up my stamp and then place it on top of my trees, you can see there's some darker leaves and lighter leaves. So that was the really cool thing about this stamp set, is that you could get variation in leaves without stamping again or stamping off. So that's pretty cool. And for these trees, I think, do I have? I was going to say I was going to stamp off, but I don't have anything to stamp off. So we're just going to do my leaves on the front full force, just like we did with the other ones. Or maybe I could just stamp like that. Stamp. Yeah. So we'll just do these leaves, kind of stamp off. Stamp one full strength, and then stamp one again without re-inking. Maybe I'll just do this one without re-inking. So there. And on the front of our card or our envelope, let's do the same. Okay, so now all of our trees are done. I put my Smoky Slate away, and the next color we're going to be using is our basic black, and we're going to do that on these 2 squares here. We're going to stamp our wolf image and our note of thanks, and I'm using Memento for that. So the note of thanks, I ink this up really well, and right in the center of this die cut, put our note of thanks. Looks nice. And then our wolf, we ink him up. Try to get as much black ink on here so it's really a saturated look. And then I'm going to use a blender pen to finish it off, to really give some depth to it. So I'm going to put him more towards the top because I want that baker's twine at the bottom. So I'm going to give it some pressure, give it a few seconds, and there we go. And bring in my blender pen. And I'm just going to go over him, and it kind of makes him gray. I'm going to leave his face white so it smears the ink, and with that I can make his body kind of filled in gray and kind of white spots. And I just thought that gave a little bit extra. And then once you do that, you can clean your blender pen by rubbing it until it's clear. Alright, and now here I have the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. It comes with white and black, Sahara Sand, which is a retiring color, cream color, and I think crumb cake. So you get all these colors, these neutral colors. And what I'm going to do is just wrap it around a couple times. Now it is a little, might have some curls in it. You can just kind of pull those out. So I'm wrapping it once, twice, 3 times, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. I think a knot looks more masculine, and that's kind of what I was going for. Let's see if I can do this, because it's always difficult to tie bows and knots on camera. It seems like you can like whip it out when you're by yourself, but once somebody's watching you, yeah, it takes an extra second. All right, that looks good. And then I'll just snip these off. Snip the tails off. That one's still a little long. There we go. All right. It's got to go in the trash can because it's going to keep popping up. All right. And these both have dimensionals on them, and let's dry fit this for a minute so you'll figure out the placement. I'm going to bring in my basic gray card base. I'm going to crisp up that score line. Our trees are going to go in the background. Put our wolf in there, and then the note of thanks sentiment. So I think that's, so I'm kind of trying to center the same distance on the right as is on the left, and then on the bottom about a 1/4 inch up here. I think that looks about right. So when we put dimensionals, we want to put it on 3 corners. This one, this one, this one. So let me bring my dimensionals in, and these are the large dimensionals. Maybe I'll just tear this half one off here and put that down the side. And so this will go like that. And for the wolf, it really doesn't matter. All 4 corners, we can do that. None of it's going to overhang. It's going to be below the sentiment, so it doesn't really matter. But I do like a lot of dimensionals. I don't like things to sag. No saggy middles. So I'm going to do this little bit down here. Get off my fingers. And then another little bit on this side. Put that here. I think that's all the dimensionals we need. So let's secure our front now that we dry fitted it with some liquid glue. Now there are price increases coming with the new annual catalog that starts May 2nd, and liquid glue is one of the price increases. So you may want to order now and kind of stock up, as well as price increases coming on white card, well, all card stocks. So you could order your white card stock and black card stock, your basics right now, while the prices, before the price increase. So let's put down our wolf image. Remove all these covers. They are the bane of my existence. I think I have every last one of them into the garbage, and then, yeah, it just not so much. I think this is about where he went. That, and I'm going to remove these covers and then just put a smudge, a smidge, a tad of glue in this corner to make sure it stays. Not that I have any issues. That looks right. And so our front is done. Now for the inside, bring in this. Now, I did not stamp a sentiment inside, so I can personalize any note of thanks that I send. I find if I stamp something in there, then later on it might not fit the occasion or the person that I want to send it to. So I tend to leave that blank and just write a personal note. All right, so here is our card, an envelope. I don't know. Do you like the darker card or the lighter card? I really don't know that I have a preference. Hard decision. Hey, leave me a comment. Let me know which one you prefer. So thank you again for joining me. Check out the link below to go to my blog with all the measurements and ingredients. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel so I can bring you even more fun stamping projects. If you're on my Facebook page, follow me and you'll be alerted the next time I go live. Remember, stamping is fun. Bye.